Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our last session of our track here. I'm going to step you through how to create a Facebook page for your users group. Here's what we're going to learn today. I'm going to start by breaking down the difference between a page and a profile, so we're both speaking the same language. I don't know how familiar any of you are with Facebook, so it gets called a lot of different things. So I'm going to start by first breaking down the difference between a page and a profile, so we're both speaking the same language. Then I'm going to give you some accurate dimensions for your cover photo and your avatar. In addition, we will also explore multiple examples of creative timeline cover photos so you have some good ideas for your page. So first, let's dive into the difference between your page and your profile. And as you see, I've got a couple of them on the slide here. The differences between a page and a profile: your page is the one that's there at the top. And as you can see, the box on the cover photo has an area for friends, following, and message. If you have that area for friends, and that's a profile, it is a Facebook page that is designed for just a person. The one immediately below that is a business page. And as you'll see, it has a little box that says liked, following, and message. All right, let me tell you a little bit about profiles. As you see, it has the like and the message button. The like button can be clicked on by anybody on your page, and it doesn't have to be manually accepted. You're just able to immediately follow the content on that page. Well, you won't actually follow it all. You'll get a lot of the content unless you click on the little box that's immediately to the right of the liked box that says following. If you click on that box, you will have a tendency to get many more notifications from that page if you want to get information from them. Now, when you click on a friends box on somebody's profile, they actually have to approve you as a friend in order for you to be able to get the posts or status updates from them. So a page is for your business or for an event or for a project that you're working on, where anybody can like the page and become an instant fan. And your profile is more personal. It's your personal persona. Okay, so here's my strategy for both. First, let's get the terminology down right. Your profile is your personal persona. Your page is your professional persona. Now, your profile is basically your name, and by Facebook guidelines, you can only use your first and last name. Meaning your profile, your personal persona, shouldn't be the name of your business or some kind of keyword phrase or anything like that. Your profile should be your first and last name only. Now, I don't know if you've seen people that have done that kind of thing where they, it kind of looks like it's actually two names, but maybe it is the is the first name and bookstore is the last name. Those pages do have a tendency to get shut down by Facebook because they are supposed to be personal. Now, your page is also known as your fan page or your Facebook page or your like page. People have a bunch of different names for it. I'm just going to call it your page, which in my term is basically your business page, and this is your professional persona. This is where you're going to talk business to people. Now, I always say mix things up on both platforms. For your profile, 80% of the time you probably want to keep it personal, casual, friendly. Most of the time you're probably posting, talking to friends, acquaintances, and family. Most people, that's who they've connected with on their profile. Now, on your Facebook page, you want to talk business the majority of the time, but talk business in a way that's full of great, valuable content that your current customers and your prospects, or in your case, members, will find valuable. So when I say mix things up on both platforms, what I mean is on your profile, 80% of the time you want to keep things casual. But 20% of the time you can let people know what you're doing behind the scenes in your users group, for example. Or if you have a big event going on, or maybe you're going to do a webinar. So you're going to actually get more exposure on your profile, but according to Facebook rules, you're not really allowed to use it for business. So you want to be real careful about how often you do that, okay? You can let people know in your profile if you feel that people in your profile could also be potential customers down the road. You can let them know, what's going on your users group or your business page. On your Facebook page now, 80% of the time you want to keep it around your niche or around business, meaning your club and what's going on, maybe upcoming events, upcoming classes, general meetings, all those kind of things. Now, that doesn't mean that you want to sell and promote 80% of the time. It just means keep the conversation centered around the main topic of your group. I try to tell people if every time you went to your favorite store, there was somebody right inside the door that wanted to sell you insurance, for example, every single time you went there, it really wouldn't be that long before you stopped walking into that store, because we don't want to be sold every single time. So again, 20% of the time you want to get off topic. You want to mix things up. You want to let people know what you're doing, what's going on with your members, who's had a great family vacation, or who just got a new grandchild, or something fun that's going on in their lives, or ask questions related to your niche. Again, I'll get into all of this when I talk about what content to post on your page. But right now, I just want to make it very clear the difference between your profile and your page. And you want to make sure, if you're managing your user group page, that you're not neglecting either one, because you can use them back and forth. You want to make sure that you're posting on your profile and your page. But if you have your profile only locked down for family and friends, meaning you went into the privacy settings of your profile and you only want to post to family and friends, and you only accept friend requests from family and friends, well, then you just probably won't use it for your club at all. And that's your prerogative, how much you want to post there. It's all up to you. I really try to focus on my pages, and I post on my profile also, but it's pretty sporadic because I spend more time on my pages. Now, Facebook pages are actually indexed by Google. And in addition, you can run ads on a Facebook page that you cannot do. You can't run ads on a profile. You can only run ads on a page. I just want to point that out, that for most people, your Facebook page is going to be more powerful than your profile. It just does more. So if you spend more time there than you do your profile, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You just got to find out what's going to work for you. Okay, we're going to move on a little bit here. And as we talked about your personal versus your professional persona, which is your profile versus your page, how to mix things up on both platforms, and the fact that you are going to make sure you're not neglecting either one. Now we're going to talk a little bit about branding your Facebook page. Okay, moving on to branding your Facebook page, the first thing I want to point out is that branding your Facebook page really includes two major areas. The first one is the timeline cover photo across the top, and the other one is also sometimes called your profile image. I try to stay away from that word because it's very confusing. As I just explained to you, your profile is your personal persona where people request to be your friend. So I'm not going to call that your profile image. It's just too confusing. So we've got that little image right here that you see on the screen for your page, and we're going to call that your avatar. More people are starting to call it your avatar as well. So let's talk about that avatar. Now, in terms of the branded avatar, the optimal size is 180 by 180 pixels. That means that you're going to upload an image that's 180 by 180. Now, Facebook's going to shrink it down to 160 by 160, but you really don't even need to know that. Just make sure that you have a really crisp looking image that's the correct size. You'll want to follow these specs. In addition, I encourage you to use a logo with graphics and words, or just maybe a graphic of some kind. And as you can see, I've put a few on here, and I'm not going to tell you that they're good or they're bad, but we'll kind of look at them for a minute. The first one there on your left is a picture of a raccoon with a wounded foot. So I guess that we can assume that this page has something to do with raccoons or animals or wild animals, but as you can see, there's not really any indication when we see that avatar on our Facebook page what that might be. What that avatar, what page that might be related to. So, and the next one to your right there, you'll see that I have crcug.com. In fact, I just recently changed our avatar. Our avatar had a picture of our clubhouse on it. And, you know, in keeping with coming into 2015, it's time for us to step up and get a little more modern looking. So I just changed that last week. And I put a window shot there, as you can see, and I've layered on top of that our actual website, which is crcug.com. While I think Facebook is an amazing platform in a lot of ways, you don't own the real estate in Facebook. So you want to be sure that you're using Facebook to your advantage. And in my opinion, the best way that we at Crystal River Computer Users Group can use our Facebook to our advantage is to drive our business and drive people to our website. So that's why I've really focused on the website address there. The next avatar is from another page that I manage. It's actually called Do It Yourself Marketplace. And as you can see, I've just got a DIY logo in the middle of that. And I think that's pretty indicative of the fact that it's a do-it-yourself location of some kind. The next avatar to your right is just an image. My online persona that I've kind of created is a social media shaman. And so that's a picture of Charmin. I created her as well. All right, so I encourage you to use at least some kind of graphic that will grab attention. And like I said, this avatar is also called the profile image, but that's really confusing, which I just explained to you. But there's a difference between a profile, which is your personal persona, and your Facebook page, which is your business page. So again, I'm going to use the word avatar wherever we're talking about it here instead of your profile image. So we've gone over your specs. They're 180 by 180. And we're going to move on next to our timeline cover photo. The timeline cover photo is the big photo across the top on your Facebook page. The perfect specs are 851 pixels by 315 pixels. So if you create an image or have a designer create an image, that's 851 by 315, you're good to go. You also want to make sure that you don't put anything in that lower left corner, because as you can see, your avatar is going to cut off that area. So keep things over to the right as much as possible and near the top as I've done here. And you can also see that I've actually kind of immediately to the right of the avatar is the area where the page name is actually labeled, and it says Crystal River Computer Users Group. Underneath that, we have computers/technology. Then you'll see I have a Join Us Today. And I've kind of laid a gray, oblong, opaque image on top of my image that goes behind those words, so those words stand out a little better because they are white. And as you can see, the image behind it is quite light. So I've got the Join Us Today on there too, just a call to action. Now these are your exact specs, again, 851 by 315. I want to talk a little bit about timeline cover photo strategies, because your cover photo is pretty important and you can change it as often as you like. And the rules with Facebook have changed with regard to your cover photo. You used to only be able to have 20% text in them, but now you can just text them up if you'd like. But again, you'll see that in our cover photo, I have got our website. Then I've got an explanation of who we are, Crystal River Computer Users Group. I've got some graphics. I've got the Join Us Today, and then you'll see that our name shows that we're Crystal River Computer Users Group, Computers and Technology. But again, for this particular page, it's really most important for me to drive traffic to our website. In my opinion, your website is the most important real estate that you own. Because if Facebook crashes tomorrow, everything that you have inside of Facebook is just flat out gone. So you want to use Facebook to kind of drive people to your website as best you can. Again, same thing here with do-it-yourself marketplace. And again, we tried to keep this nice and clean looking and show you that it has ideas, information, and resources to help with your online efforts. The actual name of this Facebook page is also the name of the website. So the website address is DIYmarketplace.net, and you'll see that that's the way we named the Facebook page as well, because again, we're trying to drive people to the website. The next one here, Mellow Monkey Media. Again, I've included the actual website address, which is mellowmonkeymedia.com. And this is specializing in do-it-yourself social media. You can see that we've got that on the little sign that the monkey's holding, and that there is live support available at that website, and it is predominantly a do-it-yourself site. So these are just some ideas of timeline cover photo strategies for you. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over how to create your page. You need to be on your personal profile and logged in as yourself, and you'll see there at the top that my name is in the blue bar, and all the way to the top right of that blue bar there is a little drop down arrow. Now if you click on that little drop down arrow, you'll get a whole list of items that pop up, and about halfway down you'll see one that says create page. So you're going to want to click on that. This is the box, the next set of choices that you're going to get. So you'll have to decide whether you're a local business or place, company, organization, or institution, brand or product, cause or community, entertainment, artist, band, or public figure. In our case, we actually do have a clubhouse address still, so we're going to choose local business or place. And when you do that, you're going to get a pop-up box here that you can start putting things together on your Facebook page. You're going to choose a category. We're going to fill out our business name or place, an address, a city, a state, a zip code, and a phone. And then once we've done that, I just named the page that I set up here, Sabrina's Place, just to name it something, because I deleted it after I was done making these slides anyway. So now it's going to give me the opportunity to set up Sabrina's Place, and the first thing it's going to ask me is about. And here I can add categories, a description, a website address to improve the ranking of your page in search. As I stated, Google does search, and so does Facebook. They both search and rank page names, and we're going to talk about that just a little bit more here shortly. Now you can fill in this info right here, right now while you're here, or you'll see there's a little skip button. If you want to skip it, you can skip it and come back to it when you're more sure of what you want to put in there. The next item is going to be our profile picture, and you see it calls it a profile picture, but again, we're going to call it an avatar just to keep those separated for you. Here's where you could upload it, or you can import from a website. And again, if you don't have it ready, you can go ahead and skip it. Our last item, Facebook is very generous. They're going to give us an opportunity to straight out of the gate spend some money with them and create an ad and help bring people to our page. So obviously we're not quite ready to do that. And again, you'll see that I've marked the little skip box for you so that you can skip that and move on. And come back to that if you'd like. As soon as you've created your page, the very first thing that's going to happen is Facebook has actually got a little, it's about 4 of these little pop-up windows that pop up that kind of give you a little bit of information and show you a little bit around the inside of your page. The first one says getting around everything you need to manage your pages in these 3 tabs, page activity and settings. And then it shows you a couple more, but I just went to the last one here where it says invite your email contacts. Now, as a users group, you should have an email list. I imagine that you're all emailing out to each other. So at this point, if you were to click next and follow the instructions, you could upload your email list to Facebook, and Facebook would send out the invitation to, what it's going to actually do is go match up each of those email addresses to email addresses on Facebook. And everywhere it finds a match, it will actually invite them to come like your new page. And now if we had skipped everything and hadn't done anything back when we were setting up the page, as you can see, here is where we're going to have our opportunity to add the things that we want to add. We're going to, where it says add photo, you'll be able to upload your avatar once you've had that created. And remember, that was 180 pixels by 180 pixels. Then over to the right, if you hover over the cover area, you'll see that we have a pop-up for the add a cover. You can add your cover there. Again, remembering that that is 851 by 315. And of course, I've pointed out the like box because the very first thing you should do is like your own page. Now we're going to go to the back side. You'll see the settings are above your cover photo. Again, we've got page activity and settings there. And we're going to talk about your settings a little bit. So when we click on the settings tab, you'll see that we have quite a few items that drop down here. The first one on top is whatever you named the page. Again, I told you that I named it Sabrina's Place. And we're going to start just going through these boxes here and discussing them. The very next box that we have the opportunity to use is called Facebook web address. Like I told you, Google does index Facebook pages for search as well. So you can get a Facebook web address, but you have to have at least 25 fans in order to have a web address. Your next box down is going to be your categories. And you can see you've got some drop-down boxes there that allow you to choose your categories, as well as immediately below that, you'll have the opportunity to choose subcategories. The next item, you can put in your physical address if you have one. You can show that you have no street address if you need to. And you'll see that Facebook will autofill your Google Map, just like Google Maps autofills for everything. It's just wonderful. The next item here is our start info. Here we can select a start date, a day of the month, and a year of when we either started our operation, our users group, for example, or our business, or when we joined Facebook. You can kind of put whatever you want in there. But if you started your users group in 1995, in February, you can actually put that information right there. You can show your hours if you have physical hours, if you're a brick and mortar location. And then the next item there is our short description. And the short description is kind of important. I'm going to show you some of this stuff here shortly. But the short description is where you're going to place a brief summary of your page. It's going to appear below your profile picture, and your character limit there is 115 characters. So you want to utilize 115 characters to tell as much about your page as you can right there. Then our next item is the impression. This is actually an optional field. In certain countries such as Austria, Germany, and Switzerland, businesses may be required by law to include a statement of ownership on their web presence. This limit is 2,000 characters. Now you can actually use this area if you would like to put down rules of your page, the kinds of things that you will delete if people comment on, or the types of things that you would like to see people comment on. So, you know, it's not strict here, so you can use this for other things. It just gives you another 2,000 characters if you would like. Our next item is our long description, and here we're going to provide some more information about our business, brand, or organization. And we can include some details here like your background, mission, or awards. You really want to take your time in this long description because, again, this is where people are going to look and find out more information about you. You might want to put when you were founded, the type of classes that you offer, how often you meet, when are your general meetings. This is a great place to put all that information. And again, like I said, take your time here, think about it, and write it so that it's intriguing to people. At the bottom of our list there, you'll see that we have, well, we're going to kind of skip the rest of these up here because you see it's got a price range. You can enter parking if you have your own parking. If your group has a phone number, that is where you would enter it. You can enter an email address there also for your group. And then you would enter your website right there. And then you have your, it asks you if you're an official brand, a celebrity, or organization your page is about. And this is really more for like your stars and things, so you really don't need to pay attention to that. But the last item on there is our Facebook ID. So when you, until you get an actual name, an internet name for your page, you're going to need that Facebook ID. In the next box down, you'll see where it says facebook.com/pages/Sabrina's Place and / and then we have all our Facebook ID numbers. So when you're sharing your page and trying to get people to come to it, you'll want to make sure that you've included all the way through the end of those numbers. And then you'll see in the next one immediately below that, after you have 25 likes on your page and you can actually just give your page an internet name, this is what it's going to look like. It'll get rid of all of that other stuff, and now it'll just say facebook.com/DIY Marketplace. And I wanted to give you a bit of a look of what a finished page looks like. You see you've got your About section. You can put a mission in there. You can put a company overview in there. You can put a description in there. On the right-hand side, you've got your basic information, your location, interests, and again, contact info. So when somebody clicks on the About tab on your page, this is the information that's going to pop up for them. So that's why you want to be sure that you're taking the time there to fill all that out, make sure that it's complete. And in those areas, the About areas, you can also put your web page URL there as well, and it'll become what's called a hot link. And you'll want to do that not by using your www dot. You'll want to use http, your semicolon rather, and your /, and then whatever your website address is. And that'll become a hot link. So when somebody clicks on this About tab and they see your website address there, then they can just click on the website address and that will immediately take them to your website, which is really where you want them to go. And again, this is just a way of showing you on another About section, because we actually have a physical address. When you click on the About section of Crystal River Computer Users Group, you'll be presented with a Google map, and you'll be able to find us that way. So let's talk a little bit about posting on your page and advertising. One of the things that you can do, like we talked about with your cover photo, is that you can look at using your cover photo for various types of advertising. So if you've got an event coming up, for example, you can change out your cover photo to show that event. And when you're posting for your page, you want to try to remember to engage, empower, and entertain, because people don't just want to be sold all the time. Remember that every time they come to your page, they don't want to be just sold. So we're going to talk a little bit about engaging. You want to get people to participate in, take part in, join in, become involved in, go in for, partake of. I'm just kind of giving you the definition of what engage means. The more that people participate on the posts on your page, the more that those posts get shown to others. That's the way Facebook's algorithms work. And right now they're running about 6%. So only 6% of the posts on your page are actually going to be shown to your fans. So if you have 100 likes on your page, each one of your posts is probably going to go to only about 6 of those 100. So by getting people to engage in your posts, that number will rise. And those are numbers that you can actually find in your activities and settings areas that you can take a look at, follow up on, and see what kind of posts are working for you. Another posting strategy that I use is empowering. And again, I've just put a definition here. One way to empower people is with knowledge. One of the things that we do is we post a lot of our blog posts. We have a gal who actually writes quite a few blog posts on our website, and we post a lot of those blog posts, and they may tell you it might be a review on Canva, or it might be a review on something, an app that we just found or that she found. But we empower people by providing them with knowledge so that they want to keep coming back to our Facebook page and learning more about what we're offering there. The other item is going to be to entertain them. So there's a lot of ways that you can do that by just posting questions, through posting graphics. And I'm sure that you've seen a lot of graphics where people are posting famous quotes or the quote of the day or something funny. And I'll show you what a few of those kind of look like. So here's an example of a Japanese proverb that's on the back of a graphic. Again, this is just something to entertain and engage with. It's just, you don't always want to make it, like I said, the constant sales pitch on your page. Here's another one. Our newsletter editor also works on our Facebook page, and she does a really good job of staying on top of just, putting a lot of fun stuff on our page. So here is just a screenshot of a funny that she posted. Here's another way to get out what's happening in your group. Right now we've got our Crystal River Computer Users Group Christmas party coming up. So that's being posted pretty frequently on our page right now. And as you can see, it says, please email Anne for more information and reservations and her email address. Again, and one of the things that you can do is, like we were talking about with your personal profile, you'll see at the bottom of that, you've got the like, the comment, and the share. Buffer is an actual app that I use. I don't know if anybody would be familiar with it, but again, to increase that 6% that you're going to typically, that 6% reach that you're going to typically get, you're going to take the time to do, click on that like, which is in the bottom left corner. Maybe make a comment on the Christmas party, say, hey, I am coming to the Christmas party, and then try to share that item on your personal profile. Because it's most likely that you have friends that are in your group as well. So that'll go out to more people that way by being shared on your personal profile. Here's a blog post, and this is, I'm just showing you how a blog post will look when you post it on your page. We do a weekly webinar. So here is where we posted our weekly webinar, and Facebook automatically pulls a featured image from the blog post. The featured image happens to be of Mr. Mike Mann here, who was doing a basic HTML webinar for us. And if you were to click on that box there, it would take you back to the website where you could register for the webinar. Just a fun item, like we talked about here, is another way to engage on your page. Did you know things? Selena has a way of finding stuff all over the place just to kind of post on our page. And it looks like I'm going to get finished really early here. So it doesn't take a whole lot of work to get your Facebook page set up and moving along. Do we have any questions? Or was I just, everybody's got it?
Well, let's see. You had mentioned a class on Canva, and Canva does have a template for the
Yes, Canva has a template. There are actually several places that you can go. If you have several different pages, how do you delete one? But that's going to be in your settings area, Greg. That's pretty easy to do. I don't know if I can, I might be able to screen share and show you here. Paul says, thanks. I've never understood Facebook, and this has helped. Settings general at the bottom. Says Kevin, I think he must be talking about deleting the page. Actually, let me, I'm going to share my, let's see if I can figure out how to do this. I'm going to share my...
Hang on a second. I'll set it up for you, and then you can do it.
Okay. I was looking for it, and I didn't see it from last time I was here. I can share my computer with you and show you, there we go, and show you a couple of items. do we got going on here? Let's try that one. Okay, let me get rid of that, and I'll go to a Facebook page here for you and show you a couple of items.
Right now, all we're seeing is checker boxes. So you got something that's overlaying the page in front of it.
I have something that's overlaying the page.
Did you share a page or did you share a program?
I'm trying to
You
share.
have to stop sharing.
Okay.
Okay, now share my screen and choose a program as opposed to the entire screen, which would be your browser? Is that what you're going to use? It
Yeah.
should be open. You have to choose it.
It's got snipping tool, OneNote, Skype.
Okay.
Does it give you my desktop
now
now?
we're saying Facebook.
Okay. There you go. Let me show you real quickly. I'm just going to show you a couple of real easy places to go to find things like you guys were just talking about.
Okay, you're now in Google. There you go.
Have you got Canva? Do you have my Canva screen? Okay, so here's one of the places that you can go is Canva. And you'll see that there are lots of templates here that you can use that will help you create things for your Facebook page. Canva is really easy, and it has a number of design tutorials right down here that will teach you how to use it.
And one of the templates that's there is your Facebook cover. There it is. Yep.
There's a Facebook cover right here. There's a Facebook post right here. And then there are a number of other social media graphics right here as well. You've got them for Twitter, business cards. You can actually use Canva for print. Some of the other things that I use is quotescover.com. This one is also very simple. You just click Start Designing Now. And you can just pick a quote, for example. Click Next Step, and then you just select what you want. They also have a Facebook cover, a Google Plus cover, a Twitter header, or you can just select something for an update for your Facebook page or a post by selecting a square. And it will put your quote here that we just selected. You can select from fonts, next fonts, previous fonts. You can change the color of your fonts, and then you can insert a background pic. And then you just download this and save it for posting on your page. Another one that I use a lot of, I use crazyquotes.com. Here's where I can find some funny thoughts to ponder that I post to keep, just to keep things happening on your page. And I just copy and paste these. For example, why do people think that swinging their arm back and forth would change the direction of a bowling ball? Those are just questions that we'll post on our Facebook page. And let me kind of show you how our page works. You can schedule posts as well, and you'll see that we've got posts scheduled right here. And this is one that Selena posted, and it's just something to kind of entertain and engage people. This particular one is her most recent blog post. And like I said before, we try to drive people to our website. So if we click on this, it will take you to that blog post that she wrote on our website. And she's even got a video in there on Canva.
Okay, there are a couple of comments and questions. Let's see. Thomas said, if a page is parented by a profile, how can people who have their own profiles work jointly to maintain a page? And
okay.
Jim answered.
And Jim has answered that question. It has multiple admins, but let me show you real quickly how to do that. So you can just select a page, for example. I'm going to select our Crystal River Computer Users Group. And you just go up here to your settings area, and you'll see right here, you have page roles. If you click on page roles, you can add additional administrators, or you can take additional administrators away in this area. So see this X over here, if I wanted to get rid of Alfred Morton, and I know he's sitting in here, not that I'd want to get rid of him, but I can just click this X and it'll take Alfred Morton out. So and yes, you can be an admin on lots of pages.
It says admin and editor. What's the difference?
There are different levels. There's a lot of levels here. You've got an admin, an editor, a moderator, an advertiser, and an analyst. They're just different levels with the different access to your page. An admin, for example, has complete access to your page. So they can actually physically delete the page as well. But you always want to make sure that you've got at least one other admin, because if something happens to your Facebook profile, for example, then nobody else would be able to get into that page. So you always want to make sure that you've got at least 2 admins in there. See, Greg says he's got a page that he wants to delete. Right here, Greg, go into the general option of the page. See down on the bottom of it? There is a remove or delete your page area.
Okay, and let's see, can a profile have multiple unrelated pages?
I don't know what you mean by unrelated pages. What do you mean, Thomas, by unrelated? For example, this is the number of pages that I currently manage right here. So I'm not sure that I know what you mean by unrelated. Jim, a page can have multiple admins. Yeah, Greg, and you can contact me if you want. The last slide that I just put up is my contact information. You can reach me at membership at Crystal River Computer Users Group. I think I put my email on there. I might have put Miller Monkey Media on there. I don't know. But you can reach me by crcug.com as a contact form. You can reach me on my email, and I'm happy to help you.
Thomas has answered your question. He said, club, photographs from a Renaissance fair.
Not sure what he means.
Profile had multiple unrelated pages. You have one for the club, one for photographs from a Renaissance fair, I guess.
Oh yeah, you can create as many pages as you want, Thomas. Anytime you go to this little drop-down button right here, it's going to let you create a new page. So you can create as many pages as you want. Barbara says we have a community member who likes to post info on our page that is not relevant. How can this be blocked? You can block her, absolutely. So let me see, what would be the best way to show you? I don't think I have any. Okay, so here's Jim Evans, for example. See this little X over here in the corner? If you click on that, see, now it's given me the opportunity to get rid of Jim Evans. I can ban him, I can report him to Facebook, I can delete him, or I can unhide him.
When it hides him, does it only hide him for you, or does it hide it for everybody?
It hides it for everybody so that nobody can any longer see his comment. But that just hides his comment. That doesn't get rid of him. See, as you see, if I click that X, I do have the opportunity to get rid of him, though. I can ban Jim Evans so that he can never post on our page. So I'm going to unhide it because that's not my intention, is to ban him. Does that help you, Barbara?
She's typing right now. I think we're about ready to wrap it up, but Barbara says thank you. I think eventually the person will get the idea, yes, it was helpful.
Yeah, you can actually just ban them, and then they won't be able to post anyway.
Will they?
So as I just showed you here on this little X, when you click that little X, you're going to get that opportunity to just ban that person if you want to.
Does that ban them from
or
being
you can
able
just
to read what's there, or does it just ban them from being able to post there?
Well, it's a little of both. I mean, it bans them completely from being able to post. But there's always a way to read what's on other pages via other people, so to speak. Does that make sense? If you and I are friends with Barbara, for example, and Barbara bans me, but you post and comment on her stuff and you and I are still friends, I can see that through you. But I can't actually go there and post on Barbara's page because she kicked me off, so to speak.
Okay, so there is some control of who can see and who can't see and who can post and who not. And let's see, do people need Facebook profiles in order to view pages?
Well, you have to have a Facebook profile in order to be on Facebook. So the answer to your question is yes. You have to have a personal profile. You have to have a way to log in. And the only way you can do that is through a personal profile. Thank you, Greg. Greg says, nice job, Sabrina, very informative. Yeah, you can, here's the thing is there's a lot of people that are concerned about the privacy settings on Facebook. If you just want to view other things, create a profile for yourself and just don't put anything on it, if you're concerned about that privacy. Although there are privacy settings available that you can use, and you can only communicate with, whoever you want to communicate with. That's pretty easy. Jerry says, very nice presentation. It flowed well. Thank you. Kevin says, thank you for this presentation. You are welcome. Let me see if I can figure out how to put back.
I'll do it for you.
You can, Kevin? How do you log a page without being logged in? There must be something I've missed. I have a private, Greg says I have a private Facebook account to upload unlimited photos and videos that nobody can see. Yes, you can do that. But let me ask you, Greg, what's the point of that? What would be the point of having someplace to load your videos and photos that nobody can see? If you're not sharing them, what's the point? Steve wants to know, just use it as a backup? Well, boy, I think you're really playing with fire there. I'm not sure that Facebook's who I'd want to use as a backup. And you can access it anywhere. Do video editing and motion graphics. Yeah, I guess you could do that. But you could probably do the same thing with Dropbox or any of the clouds. Granted, Facebook is free. I do understand that. I just don't know how much I trust them. As I said, that's one of the things that we really try to do is to, and you're right, it is unlimited. That is one of the things that we really try to do is drive to our website. There is some talk, and I don't know whether it's true or not, and I don't know if it'll ever actually happen, but there is some talk. People say that eventually Facebook will be charging. I don't think they'll ever charge for profiles, but they might be charging a monthly fee for pages. I don't know. So just because you own your real estate with your website, and nobody can really take that away from you unless if the whole world crashes, it's really not going to matter. There are a lot of, but there are a lot of analysts that think that Facebook is going to collapse under its own weight someday. Now, whether or not it will, I have no idea. All I know is that I don't want to leave things that belong to me in the hands of somebody else. So I would rather spend the time driving people to my real estate, which would be the website. TV host said this week that Facebook is charging to post to popular people. I don't know anything about that. I have not seen that.
There's a lot of false information out there about Facebook charging or getting ready to charge and so on. So.
Yeah, and there's a lot of false information about that. However, Facebook has dialed down the algorithms that they call them, and they have the ability to control exactly what percentage of your friends, family, or fans, in the case of a page, can actually see your post. And they have dialed that back. The reason they've dialed that back is because they want you to spend for advertising. And I know that that really upsets people, but let's be honest. Facebook, it's a business. They didn't build it just to be free. They built it because in the end they wanted to monetize it. So yes, they're beginning to monetize it. Even with your personal profiles now, say I wanted to throw a baby shower for Susie, and I post it on my profile, and I want to make sure that everybody sees it, all my friends see it. I can pay like $6 and have that boosted to all my friends. So yes, they are beginning to monetize it. But yeah, as a backup, I guess that's a good idea, Greg. Like I said, I don't know that I trust it.
Okay.
Paul Howard says, great sessions, VTC team. Thank you, Paul. Like I said, everyone, if you need a little help, you can find me at crcug.com, membership at crcug.com, and I am very much interested in doing presentations for any of your groups as well.